How's it going, YouTube? We are back again with another Jerry Garcia Grateful Dead solo video. Today is going to be from Ramble On Rose from May 10th, 1978. This is in Connecticut in the Veterans Memorial Coliseum, and this is actually found on Dick's Picks 25, Volume 25. So a lot of great stuff in this solo, a lot of great techniques. Down below is both a backing track that not only I used in the demo video, but that you can use, as well as the actual audio recording of the solo and the song overall. So without further ado, let's get into it, and I hope you enjoy learning some Ramble on Rose. All right, so let's do this thing. So to start it off, I'm going to quickly go over the actual chords in the song, which is the verse progression, same as the solo progression, so you can understand what's coming up. He likes to play, for the most part, the relative major scale of the chord that he's playing, so it's good to know what chords are coming up. So it sounds like this. So it's going to start with a D. E. F sharp minor. G, D, G, A. And we can start it up now. So the first lick is going to be over the D chord, and it sounds like this. And what that is it's straight out of the D major pentatonic scale, home row. Picture that shape when you see 7, 9 on the D, 7 on the B, 7 on the G. And then he's going to do this, which is 7, 9, 7 on the G, 7 on the D, 7, 9, 7 on the G. And then he's going to switch over to the E chord, and he's going to slide from the 9 on the G to the 13 on the G, which is the chord tone of E. That's a little E major triad there. So, and the lick is going to sound like this. And what that is 13, 11. So once he slid up to the 13, he's going to re-pick the 13, 11 on the G, then on the D, 14, 13, 12. Then he's going to slide in that little shape, which is 12 on the B, 13 on the G. It doesn't really matter where you start. I usually start from roughly around here. Then you do that lick, which is 16, 14 on the G. And on the D, 16, 12, 14, 12. When you're doing this, picture the E major scale. And one quick side note, this is, just kind of a theory, I would say, but one interesting thing is you'll see that Jerry isn't only not really targeting a chord tone here of E, but he's actually targeting a note that's outside of E major. It's in E mixolydian, so you could say that he's playing out of the E mixolydian scale to an extent, but he keeps landing here, which is the D note. So the theory, my theory is that he's playing over this D first, and he's kind of just digging that feel, and so he's going to play over the E major scale, but, center it around the D. So if you have any more information on that, please leave it in the comments below, but let me quickly do the entire solo so far. And you have all that 16 in the major scale of E, so, it's straight out of the major scale except for that 12. But then after he's done with that, that D to E jam, he goes to the F sharp minor. And picture F sharp minor, same as A major. So, it's going to start in the 14, which means the shape before that is 12, 12, 14, 12, 14, 11, 14, 11, 14, 12, 14, 12, 14. Which is why this lick makes sense when he goes, this is the next lick. Which is 11 on the G, 11 on the D, 11 on the G. Then 14 on the G, and then 12, 14 on the B. Then this is where it goes, which is G, D, and he's going to go. And it's pretty quick. So he's on the F sharp minor, which is, he landed on the 14 of the B, and it's going to go G quickly. So he's going to slide to the 17. So he's in that box. And then he's going to immediately do a triple pull off to the 15. The next lick sounds like this. And what that is after the triple pull-off, he's going to pause. And then he's going to go on the B string, 15, 14, 15, 16, 17. And what that basically is that's when, he went G, D, and then he's going to go back to G before going to A. And when he's back on, before he goes to G, he hits the D note. That little build-up is over the G chord. So that's, 14, 15, 16, 17. And now you're on the A chord, so you're doing this little walk down, which is, I'll play that one more time. Guess it would be, sorry, I did the pull-off wrong. The pull-off's here. And that's all out of the A major scale. Picture that F sharp minor, A major scale. On the B string, you have 12, 14, 15, 17. Picture that as you do this. So after that triple pull off, 17 to 14. I guess that'd be 17 to 15. 17 twice, so that's not including the build-up. And then it's really silent, but he kind of slides back. It's like, it's almost to keep the beat. So it's like, you hear that? He kind of slides back. But it's going to be 17, 17, 15, 15, 14, then 14, 12, pull off, 14 on the G. Then 12, 14, 12 on the B, and then 14 on the G to finish off the A walk down. So that entire part. The next part's going to sound like this, which is over the D, which is why he is in the D major pentatonic scale. And it's going to be that shape right here. So let's picture that 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 14, 11, 14, 12, 15, 12, 14. That's D. So out of that shape, he's going to be doing this lick. And I'm going to start a little back because it comes up pretty quick, so I want you to have that rhythm ready to go. Sounds just like that. So that's going to be 11, 14, 11 on the G, then slide 12 to 14 on the D, and do 11, 14, 11 on the G again. Then the next lick's going to sound like this. And what that is that's 12, 14 on the D, then 11, 14 twice on the G, then on the B, 12, and then on the G, 11, 14, and then slide off. So all the way from the beginning of that section. The next lick's going to sound like this. And that's going to be over the E. So that first part was over the D, which is why it was exactly D. D notes of the D major pentatonic scale. Now, similarly to how on the first go-around of the verse progression, when he got to the E chord, he continued with that D feel. So even though he's playing the E notes, he kind of kept with that D feel. And he's going to do something very similar here, which is where he's going to be playing the E notes. Now, if you notice the E major scale, picture it. It has similar notes that he was playing on that D scale. So he has the 11, 14. Those are both in the E major scale. So even though the pentatonic scale has the 13, the actual major scale also has the 14 on the G. So similarly to my hypothesis in the first, he's kind of keeping this D feel through the E, but he's playing the E notes. So it's going to be, which is 11, 14, 11, 14 on the G, then 12 on the B, which again, that's in this box. So it's going to be 12 on the B, 14, 11 on the G. And then he's going to go 15, 12 on the B, which again, you know, this is the pentatonic scale shape box for E major, but it has this 15 too. So he goes 15, 12, and then again, after that 15, 12 on the B, he's doing 14, 11 on the G. So that part right there sounds like this. Sorry. And then to finish it, to prove he actually is an E, you know, instead of like last time, he would have gone and landed on the G. He this time proves he's an E, and he goes along the E major arpeggio, which is 12 on the B, then 9 on the B, and 9 on the G. Cool. So this next part is going to be over the F sharp minor. So, you know, you restarted the sequence and you started with the D, you went to the E, which ended with that arpeggio, and now you're over the F sharp minor. So he's going to slide into the F sharp minor. So again, just picture the shape, which back here goes like that. So he's going to slide into the F sharp minor, which is 9 to 11 on the G string. And then he's going to go like this, which is 9, 7, 9 on the high E string. After that, he's going to pause. He's going to do it again. And then he's going to bend 12 up to 14, and then do 12, 10. And so, you know, that's F sharp minor. Then it's going to go G to D, G to D, and, you know, that's a G, almost to the G. He's bending it to right before the G. And then he's going to do, so it's a full step bend, and then he's going to kill it, play 12, 10 on the high E. So that part here. And then, because, it goes F sharp minor, G, D, G, A. So it's on the D. He plays D twice. And then it's going to go to G quickly. So he's going to go 10, 10 on the high E, then 12, 15. And now he's on the A. And so he's going to play 17, which is the A. So it's pretty cool there. So that part one more time. And now you're on the A, so you went from D to A, or you went from D to G to A, and so it's good. The lick is going to sound like this. Do that one more time. And what that is again, picture the A major shape right here. And so 17 on the high E, and then a mute, and then 17 again. Then 17, 15, 14, 15, 14, and then a slide 13 to 14. Which makes sense because not only is that note in the A major scale, but it's a chord tone of D, which is, now you're on the third lap of the verse progression, the third playthrough, which again starts in the D, so that's why he goes like that. The next lick is then going to sound like this, which is going to be, again, we're on the D, so you're doing the D note, which is 15 of the B. Then you're going to do 16 of the D, which, that's this shape. Just picture the D major pentatonic scale. And then he's going to slide 14 to 16 on the G, which, again, that's that pentatonic scale. And then he's going to play the 15 of the B, which is the D, again. And then he's going to pull off 16 to 14 on the G. And then he's going to play down this arpeggio, which is 15, 13 on the B. Then 14, 11 on the G. And then finish off with the D note, which is 12 on the D. So that entire section again. And now you are on the E, and he's going to play this. And what he's doing is he's going to be in the D major shape of the E chord, which is here with the root on the 17 of the B. And he's going to go chromatically 15, 16, 17 on the B. And then on the E, the high E, chromatically 16, 17, 18, 19. And so out of the E major scale, the notes that are in the chromatic notes would be the 16 of the B, because you have these two. And then you have 16, 17, 19, but 18 is also just a chromatic note. And then you're going to slide or pull off from 17 to 16 on the high E. And then you're going to do 17 on the high E. And then 17 on the B. And then after a break, a rest, you're going to do 17 on the high E again. So that entire part right there. Now the next part's going to sound just like this. Now what that is that's going to be over the F sharp, the G, and then the D. Cool thing about that is the F sharp right here, the G, has these two notes as well, and then the D. The common part about all three of those is that they all share in their major or minor full scale, both the 14 of the high E and the 17. So that's why he's going to do this, which is all just those two notes and then a bend. And that's going to be 17, 17, 14, 17, 14. Then a full step pre-bend pull-off. Then 17, 14. And then 17 three times, the third time you slide. And now you're going to be over the G up to the A. And you're going to do that lick, which is 14 on the high E, 15 on the B, then 15 on the B, 14 on the high E twice, and then 15, 17. And now you're over the A, finishing off the A chord before you go into the final lap around of the verse. And he's going to play this lick right here, which is straight out of the major scale of A, which is 14, 16 on the G, 15, 17 on the B, and then a slide 13 to 14 on the G. And you can do that slide really well because the 13 of the G is part of the A major scale. That's the A flat. So you have and then you're going to do this, which is 14, 16, 14 on the G, and then 16, 17, 16 on the D. Right after that, you're going to go, so, and then you're going to slide 15 to 16 on the D, play the 15 on the B, and then 16 on the D. So you're back in D major now. And the next lick is going to sound like this. And that's pretty cool because you're just, again, playing out of the scale. So I said this before, but it's going to be a slide from 15 to 16 on the D, 15 on the B, 16 on the D, and then you're going to do 14 on the G, 16 on the D, 17 on the A. So this is that C shape of the D major scale. This is straight out of the arpeggio. Then you're going to do on the A string 14, 12, and then 14 on the low E. And then after that, you're going to do that. And that's going to be a slide 10 to 12 on the low E. So after that, you got this. And what that is now that you're in E, because you slid, 10 to 12, which is into the E note, you're going to play straight out of this E shape of the E chord. So if you look at that, look where your fingers are, you're going to be doing 12, 14 on the A, then 14, A, D, A, D, A, so that'd be 5 times, boo, de, boo, de, boo, de, do. Then what would have been the 6th time, you actually go 13 on the G, and then back to what you would have done, 14 on the D. So you got 14, A, D, A, D, A, 13 on the G, 14 on the D. So that whole entire section right there is going to sound just like this. And that includes the next part, which is, as it just did there, sounds like this, which is over the F sharp minor, where he slides 14 to 16 on the D, that's into the F sharp, and then he's going to do 14 on the B, 16 on the D, and then 14, 12 on the B, and 14 on the G. So that entire part right there. Now the next part's going to sound like this. And what that is, and we're very close, we're almost done, is going to be a 16 on the D, then a hammer on 14 to 16 on the G, then 14, and then a pull off. So that sounds. Then those last little parts are 16 on a D, and then 15 on the B. One thing to notice is right after he does that 15, he does a quick 14. So the full lick sounds like this. Then the last part, it sounds like this, which is right after you pause and then you do it again. And then you're going to do 15, 17, 14. So that's 15, 14, 15, 17, 14. And that's the last little lick there, which is the walk down into the verse again. And what he does is after he does the 14, he lands on the 14, he's going to, then you walk down, which is a slide 14 to 12. So you pause. And then it pauses again, and then you hear at the end. It's kind of quiet for the in between there. So if you want, you can do little slides. But what you hear on the solo, and down below in the description, obviously, is the actual solo, so I'd listen to this part, but it sounds something like this. Kind of like that. So that's the entirety of the solo. That's it. All the way through, 4 verses through. This was a lot to work with. I don't know why, but this one was kind of tough for me to grasp at first, but working on it, I would say this is one of the best places to start soloing. It's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of great places to go. This is kind of a tough one. Jerry does some strange, more advanced, maybe not more advanced, but the way that he sees the fretboard in this really takes a very strong sense of fretboard memorization. And that was a lot to work with, but it was great to practice over. So hope you enjoyed it, and give it a thumbs up, and let me know if you liked it, if there's any spots that I messed up, as I always do this by ear. And as always, please give me some comments of solos you would like to see. So hope you're having a wonderful quarantine. Peace and love.